Well, that's a weird parking spot. Well, that's because I blew it up. Unfortunately, I took the Boxster because the Fiat still had a sticking brake caliper up to a track day a couple of weekends ago, and I blew up the engine on the third lap. So, here's another one. This is a 2001 M96 3.2 out of a 2001 Boxster S. This just arrived on a skid for me yesterday, straight out of Pennsylvania. While I was at it, I picked up another G60 transaxle because it was cheap. And these things are super desirable for kit car people and as a spare. This was a lower mileage engine than my car already. It looks like it had never been separated before. Really nice shape. The rear main seal has a very significant leak, so I'm going to do that. I am going to change the intermediate shaft bearing on this. I don't know if that's what let go on my Boxster, but I have a sneaking suspicion it was that or a chain guide. I'd been getting kind of a rattle on cold start for a while, and it was kind of the same noise that occurred before I clutched in and let it just stall out on its own at the track. After I limped it back into the pits, just coasting, it heat soaked pretty bad, so there was a chance. I cracked one of the cylinder heads on my Boxster, so I just didn't want to mess with it. I wanted a straight plug-and-play replacement, and that's what this is. Remarkably complete. The fellow I bought this from was putting a, I forget, AZL or whatever they call it, Audi 4.2 belt V8, the 5-valve. He was going to throw that in there because it bolts up to the 5-speed Boxster transaxle, which explains, again, why he didn't need that 6-speed. But full accessories, looks like it's been pretty well cared for. The belt looks great, idlers look pretty good, water pump looks brand new. I'm going to pull the AC compressor off of this because that obviously stays with the car to keep the air conditioning working. And then, of course, my little power mod. Sorry, had to pause there. The music came back on, and YouTube is not a fan of me playing music while I'm recording videos. So I digress. Here it is. I pulled the clutch and all that off just so I could take it up to Auto Edge, a shop in Matamidi, Minnesota that is Porsche. They do a lot of race cars. They're experts. So even though I'm perfectly capable of doing the intermediate shaft bearing myself, it's been about 5 years since I've done one, and these guys are experts. They have the correct tool to set the rear main seal correctly in place, all that. So I won't have to worry about it, and then, in a year's time when I get rid of the Boxster, it will have much more value because it will all have been done correctly. So that's what's going on here. The 911's about to come in just for some spark plugs, and then after that I'm going to work on the red E30 M3, which I guess I haven't showed you guys yet. I have these Sport Evolution wheels on it now. They're not actually Sport Evolution wheels. These are E28 M5 wheels that I bought brand new from Germany, and I had painted Nagaro silver in the center to mimic the Sport Evo wheels because they went in LA from BMW about 18 months ago. And original sets of those wheels are now $3,500, $4,000. So that was just a little out of my budget, but I think it looks damn good. But anyway, the power steering pump now sounds like marbles because I've been running it dry for the last 2 years. Have a new one in the car, have a new reservoir, should have the pipes, and I've done it on the black M3, so there shouldn't really be any surprises. I just want to get that done. Plus side will have power steering, which I don't really care about, but the noise hopefully will go away. So that's what I'm working on next. I do still have to work on that 325 IS. Not really jazzed about it. It's a customer car. I swapped it 4 or 5 years ago. It's an S50 B30 US. And he overheated it on the way to work because he wasn't watching the temperature gauge. So not only do I have to check the timing, which has always been a little bit wonky on that engine, see if the Vanos was timed correctly, I also have to do a leak down test and see if he cracked his cylinder head. In addition to that, my daily driver wagon needs an oil change pretty badly. What else? I feel like there's a lot of stuff that's broken. The Ferrari needs a soft top. Brexit needs gauges. The Mercedes keeps throwing alternator belts. I knew there was something wrong with it. I'm not exactly sure why it's doing that, but I'm keeping tools and belts in the car now, just in case it starts tossing them again. So Cars and coffee tomorrow morning. Not sure how far I'm gonna get. I will get to that Q&A video. It'll probably drop before this one does, but if not, just know that it's coming soon. Thanks again for asking the questions. I'm happy to answer them. Just wanted to try to get them all in the same place. And as always, if you like this stuff, show your other car buddies. I appreciate the subscribers and the views. Thanks, guys. So here we are under the Boxster. Took the sump pan off, and really nothing looks too bad in there. I did definitely find little chunks of RTV, and then also, unfortunately, a fair bit of metallic residue. That's just nasty. So I definitely had some sort of bearing issue. I don't know if it's IMS or rod bearings yet. I would assume it's IMS, but the shavings are a little more consistent material-wise with rod bearing. So I haven't tried to spin it over by hand yet. There is an access panel inside the car to let you more easily get up to the crankshaft pulley in there. But I'm not gonna have time to drop this out just yet. So I did split the transaxle off of this thing, and I sent a photo of just the cover of the intermediate shaft bearing to the friend of mine that runs Auto Edge up in Matamidi, Minnesota, and he said that is consistent with an early bearing, which is excellent news, which means it's replaceable. However, I still don't know if it's a single or a dual row bearing, so I don't know if that matters. I think it does. Even though you can get a dual row retrofit kit for a single row early engine, generally speaking, buying the correct bearing for the engine straight away saves a lot of time and hassle. So this is something I'm still gonna have to drag up there and get him to crack open and see, but I am still morbidly curious on what exactly went wrong with this thing. The headers turned a nice pretty color. That Chinesium reacts to heat apparently, so I did cut open the filter. I took an oil sample to send to Blackstone, so I'm gonna do all that just out of curiosity again. 5,000 miles ago, last time I did an oil change, this car got a clean bill of health from them, so something went horribly wrong in the last 5K, which is a little too bad. I mean, the engine inside, there's no varnishing. Thing's in excellent condition for 170,000 miles, so it's a little bit unfortunate, but what can you do? I think that's probably all I got for right now. I gotta pull in that red 325IS I just showed you and work on that. And then I'll probably work on that Q&A video a little bit as well. So stay tuned for more on the Boxster. I'm far from done. It's gonna be here and there, and it's probably gonna be at least a week until I can get the IMS sorted in this new engine and sort of set my sights on it and actually get that thrown in the car.